From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, we're getting to the leading edge of that storm out there this morning. We've seen some of the showers, some sprinkles out there, some drizzle. And we take a look at what it looks like in Crescent City at the Battery Point area. Of course, there you can see the overcast skies. Can't really, of course, see the rain, but where we can see the rain is the wet pavement here out at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. You can see some of the puddles in the wet pavement here. Now, I did check, and there were less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall in many spots along the coast. Inland areas, even western Siskiyou County has seen a little bit of measurable rainfall as well. But again, it's mainly been about 100th to upwards of about 600ths. And there were some mountain peaks where it was over 1/10, but for the most part, just not a lot of rainfall coming out of this system. In fact, let's take a look at the radar, and you can see just a lot of these blues indicating some of the drizzle and light rain. Now, we are seeing a little bit more activity and organized storms, or should we say cells, coming in from the north and west, because the storm system itself is not overhead just yet. So what it's doing is it's bringing some of the showers as expected for the north coast, western Siskiyou County. But you can see for the valley eastward, you're just looking at the clouds moving in, but still looking at dry conditions out there. So we do have the isolated coastal showers today. And then later on this afternoon and evening, we'll start to see chances east of that. Siskiyou County first, then heading southward and eastward into Modoc County and the valley later this afternoon and evening, and then tonight will be the main event. And we'll talk about what that means here when we look at Futurecast here in just a bit. But we also have dry and mild Sunday, and we'll keep it dry through all of next week with a bit of a warming trend. And when we look at the 7-day outlook, you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, if you're planning on going out and checking out the current the fall foliage, here's what I want to show you. This is a map that's updated once a week. So this is as of September 25th. So take a look at where we are in the mountains. Low color, one little spot near Susanville that's moderate color. Now, one thing to take note though, is that the forecast for Monday of next week, so October 2nd, look how much more color we have here in the forecast. So this actually might be a good weekend to maybe head out to central eastern Siskiyou County, Modoc County, or anywhere in the eastern mountains. You might get to see some pretty decent color out there. Or you could maybe hold off maybe one more week and you might be a little bit more guaranteed in that area. But we also have plenty of time, looks like, before we start seeing color in the central and western Siskiyou County area, not to mention Trinity, Del Norte, and Humboldt. And of course, the valley, for the most part, seeing little to no color at this point. All right, so if you look closely, you'll see a bit of a spin of low pressure right about here. So the main low, as you can see right now, is just beginning to kind of approach northwestern California. Now, as this low pressure system moves closer, we see the chances for showers increase. But there's also cooler air associated with it. So let's take you into Saturday at about 8 a.m. The low pressure, for the most part, as we go in the morning hours, will be right on top of northern California. And this is when we expect to see chances for more showers and even chances for more thunderstorms. But notice, as we go into Saturday night, now the area of low pressure is down to our south and east. This is when we dry things out. The thunderstorms, the showers are gone at this point, but the cooler air is still in place. But as we go into Sunday through next week, that area of low pressure scoots on out of here, and we've got high pressure building in through next week. By Wednesday, Thursday of next week, we've got this kind of the peak of this ridge of high pressure building in, and I'm seeing indication where valley temperatures could quite possibly reach that 90-degree mark. But before we get to that warmer weather, we've got to get through this storm system here first. All right, so here's what we got going on here. Here's today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now you'll notice we're still just seeing light showers where we're seeing them right now along the coast, inland areas, western Siskiyou, but we're beginning to see more development of these showers and thunderstorms here later this afternoon. So there you can see Siskiyou County, even north of Redding. So I'm beginning to see potential that parts of the north end of the valley could be looking at thunderstorms, and not to mention even parts of Siskiyou County. And you're seeing a little bit of pop-up activity here for northern Lassen and even parts of Modoc County. But you can kind of see the main line is right about here. Now I'm going to take you at about 6 o'clock this afternoon and see how we're seeing better chances kind of coming into the valley. Still, again, see how it's pretty light? I mean, there are going to be pockets of some moderate rainfall for some of us for the Del Norte, Humboldt County areas, not to mention western Siskiyou and Trinity County, but for the most part, not very heavy. But you see how we have some pretty strong thunderstorms here in eastern Siskiyou County, even parts of Modoc County getting in on this, and of course southward into the valley. But again, not much going off into the eastern mountains. Now tonight, this is 11 o'clock tonight, now you're seeing just kind of scattered showers in Siskiyou County, some heavier thunderstorms possibly in parts of the valley. We can't rule out Chico getting in on that as well. It's 11 o'clock tonight. And then, of course, off to the east and northeast. So now, tonight, the eastern mountains are getting in on those thunderstorms. Now, you can see as we go into tomorrow morning, we're still seeing a lot of that activity out there, even off to the west near parts of Trinity County. Now, the reason I stopped at 3 a.m. is you'll notice that most of the storms up until this point are generally moving to the north and east. But now, as the area of low pressure starts to shift down to the south, watch what happens with these storms. You see how we're starting to see a shift. Now they're moving from north to south. That's because now the area of low pressure is moving down to our south and east. The rotation around that low is causing that activity to move southward. Now there's going to be some instability throughout the day on Saturday. So we take you into noon and you've got especially mainly in the mountains surrounding the valley and the foothills surrounding the valley is where I think we'll see the best chance for thunderstorms. But we can't rule out, even though we're not really seeing much on Futurecast, there could be some activity even for parts of the valley through the afternoon and into the evening hours. But you'll notice the strongest activity is in the foothills and then to the mountains off to the east, and not to mention Mount Shasta City. That is tomorrow afternoon at about 5 o'clock. But look what happens as we go to 10 o'clock Saturday night. It's pretty much gone. And in fact, as we go through the day on Sunday, sunny skies for the most part, but on the back side of that low pressure system, we're at least seeing some clouds. Can't rule out maybe a stray shower, but I think it'll be mainly dry here, even for the eastern mountains on Sunday. All right, so how much rain can we expect? Well, here's the thing. And when we're talking about isolated activity here, scattered showers, you can't really pinpoint town by town or city by city how much rain you're going to see. But what you can take a look at here is the overall trend. We're seeing the bulk of the rain in Siskiyou County, kind of to the northern end of the valley, and then northeastward into Lassen County and into parts of Modoc County as well. So it looks like this will be the area right here that I anticipate seeing the most amount of rainfall. Will Bernie see an inch of rain? Probably not. Will Redding only see 0.05 of an inch of rainfall? Well, that depends. If you get caught under a thunderstorm, you'll probably see a lot more than 0.05 of an inch of rainfall. But if you don't get caught under a thunderstorm, yeah, 0.05 of an inch of rainfall is a very good possibility. This is one of those weekends, especially Saturday, that if you have outdoor plans, you don't need to cancel them. But you need to be prepared for the worst case scenario, and that is if you get caught under a shower or a thunderstorm. Chances are you may not need it, especially in the valley, but there could be that off chance that you may need it, and that'll be the time you wish you had it. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast going through next week. Dry conditions, much warmer weather in store for us, especially by, say, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So here are your wave heights here for your Friday, of course, this afternoon. We're actually beginning to see those wave heights increase a bit, especially as you go into Saturday. And of course, that has everything to do with that storm system that's kind of passing on through. Now, your marine forecast for the rest of the day today, you have your high tide at 12:51 at 7.7 feet, but it lowers down to 0 feet at 6:46 this evening. Your sunset tonight at 7:03. There is a small craft advisory tonight into tomorrow morning. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got going on today. All right, shall we take a look at the thunderstorms in Siskiyou, Modoc County? We could even see an isolated thunderstorm here even later this afternoon, but probably closer to the evening hours for the north end of the valley. Then tonight, all of these areas will be looking at thunderstorms in their forecasts as well, not to mention the valley, but not much activity elsewhere for the North Coast and even Trinity County. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. There's the afternoon thunderstorms, scattered thunderstorms again on Saturday. Altura, same situation. Now, Susanville, you're dry today, but you've got thunderstorms coming in tonight, and then more scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Drying out by Sunday, keeping it dry through next week. Now, for the valley, Redding, Red Bluff, you could see an evening or late afternoon, early evening shower or thunderstorm. And then looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms across the board in the valley. Most of it will be in the foothills. Most of it will be in the mountains. But don't be surprised if you see a stray shower in the valley tomorrow afternoon and even that off chance for a thunderstorm. And then it dries out for Sunday all the way through Thursday, if not to the end of next week. All right, so for the coast, it's today. That's the main event for rain today on the coast, because that's it. Because as we go into Saturday, you're dry on the coast, you're dry inland, still maybe an isolated shower or even a thunderstorm for Weaverville, Trinity County, as we go into Saturday afternoon. But then everyone's dry by Sunday. We keep it dry through next week, and we're warming up by the middle to latter part of next week as well.